Hey, Sarah Liberty here for Garage Girls, and I am at Gill's Gym in Palmer, Mass. I'm with AFA certified personal trainer Rich Breedy. Rich is going to give us a little bit of a rundown on what we need to be doing to take care of our bodies, maintain ourselves. Rich, let's start off with, I know for myself, I'm concerned of maintaining my health, and I know that exercise is key to that. A lot of our readers want to get into a workout program. Can you give us a broad, general overview of what we really need to be doing to keep our bodies maintained properly?
Well, what we have to do first of all is get strong from the inside out. We're going to be concerned with our core for the rest of our life. That's what's going to help us get around, have a balance, our activities of daily life. The days of lifting, just isolation training are over. You're going to find more functional facilities in the future, which are going to help, again, with our regular movements of getting up out of a chair, pushing, pulling, involving things to support our spine more than anything. And with that going too, we're going to be able to raise our metabolism and help keep our weight within proper limits. If we get into higher fat categories, we're going to have all sorts of increased risk from everything from diabetes to cancer, arthritis, apnea, all sorts of things we just don't need.
Right.
So, and it starts with the strength training and, of course, diet.
Okay, so we've got to focus on our diet, our intake, and we should be just be coming to a gym and taking aerobic classes? Should we be working strength training into that?
The strength training, especially for ladies, is paramount. That's going to be the one thing which is going to allow you to basically have quality of life in your later years. You're a lot different than guys, and the core of muscle is what's going to keep your body strong, and we can't get that through cardiovascular training. We have to strength train and cause the muscle to have activation or damage, if you will, and as it repairs itself while we sleep, that's where we burn our fat and calories. It's not in here on just doing cardio.
Right.
If we ignore the strength training and do nothing but cardio, and the biggest mistake a lot of people is they don't eat enough, we're going to be using our lean protein for fuel and decreasing our body's metabolism.
You just said something there that I know that's pretty important. A lot of women think, well, if I skip breakfast, if I skip lunch, I'm doing myself a favor, I'm not taking in as many calories. And I know that that's not good. Can you tell us why that's not good?
Because fat is long-term survival, and your body doesn't know if you're voluntarily reducing your caloric intake or you're in a concentration camp.
Right.
It's going to save that for survival, and it will burn your lean protein for fuel, which is our body's. There's only one thing on your body that burns fat, and that's muscle. We have to be proactive with that and keep that rather than burn it for energy. And if you don't put gas in your tank, you can't drive your car.
So what happens is if our body thinks we're starving ourselves, and we'll actually store the fat.
Absolutely.
And we could end up gaining more weight.
Absolutely, and that's where the big yo-yo thing comes along. People will strength train, they'll gain a couple pounds of muscle maybe, and it doesn't happen overnight, but they'll get and they'll look at that scale and they'll say, oh my God, I've gained weight, I've got to cut this out, and I'm eating too much, and I got to get on that treadmill, and they'll yo-yo, they'll defeat their purpose. They'll come in here every day and spend their money, and they'll never reach their goal.
Okay, so now we know that it's important to maintain a certain caloric intake throughout each day. After we do a workout, what do we need to do to replenish everything that we just lost?
Well, first of all, we're going to talk about before the workout. I've had people come in and it's at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'll say, when did you eat last? Oh, I had breakfast. And you know, their blood sugar is so low by then. By the end of our hour together, they're glazed over. They don't have any available glucose in their system, which is the fuel that we need. Before you come in and work out, within about an hour, hour and a half, have a half a peanut butter sandwich on whole wheat. Give yourself some good complex carbs and some energy to burn. And then you come in and you've only got that glucose for about an hour. You want to come in and get everything done in an hour before you start burning into your protein for fuel. Get in and get out. We got lives to live. You know, just because you spend 2 hours in here doesn't mean you did any more than what I could do in 20 minutes.
Right.
So, and then within about an hour after you leave here, you have to eat something. If you can't have access to a decent meal, then have a protein shake, have a meal replacement, have a bar, whatever. But you have to have something in your system because body's going to be beginning the recovery process. For up to 38 hours after you strength train, those muscles are going to be repairing themselves, and they need fuel to do that.
All that glycogen we just depleted, we need
Absolutely.
to put back in.
Absolutely, and that, you know, the protein is the biggest thing in muscle recovery. But the thing with that too is don't have more than 25 or 30 grams at a time because your body can't store protein. It'll just excrete it. And you look at the protein powders, hey, 52 grams of protein in each drink, yeah. save that. Cut it in half. It'll last twice as long and better for your body.
Okay, great. So limit amount of protein that we take in after our exercise.
It's important, but
Yep.
it all depends on how you do it. And it's all this, there's a couple of pieces to the puzzle, and we got to pay attention to each one of them to get to where we want to go.
Okay, great. And how about hydration?
Hydration, I was just
know
going to
that's
touch on that.
huge.
You know, people will say, hey, have 8 cups of water a day. Well, if I'm 150 pounds and somebody's 250, our needs are different. So take half your body weight in ounces. And if that sounds like it's a lot, you know, at 150 pounds, that's 75 ounces. And guys out there know what I mean. There's 72 ounces for a six-pack, and we never had any trouble with that, did we? So it's spaced throughout the day, and keep that hydrated for a lot of different reasons. For arthritis reasons, too. We have synovial fluid in the joints. If we're not hydrated, we're not going to have what we need to make our joints feel good and lubricated and have pain go away, maybe. So, I mean, things tie in. It all ties in together.
Okay. Okay, great. So let's start working out. Show me some exercise. I know we're going to hit a little bit of upper body, lower body, some core.
The first thing we do whenever we come in, we take about 5 minutes and we warm up and we stretch. I would take you over on the elliptical machine. We'd get a couple minutes in there or whatever, just to get moving. And then we get a quick stretch in. And guys don't stretch. Everybody wants to come in and see how much they can bench press, but it's very important, especially the older we get. And I would go through just a couple minute routine where we just elongate the body, stretch. The same thing I do for my group classes. Get the back of the legs here. Sitting down, having a quadricep stretch, basic things like that. And then I would jump in, and the first thing I do every day when I come in is my kettlebell swing.
Okay, let's head over to the cardio machine.
Let's go warm up a little
All
bit.
right, cool.